slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Redline Racing Network. The nighttime is the right time for some full-length Xfinity racing in prime time. Welcome to the Tony Trapasso Memorial broadcast booth. As always, Matt Metler up top leading the charge, and joining me tonight, new up-and-coming development broadcaster DJ Daniel will be joining us here shortly. Want to thank all of you for being along for all the high-flying, high-octane racing action as we're currently underway here from the Circuit of the Americas. A star-studded lineup, 28 cars strong, as they're currently live on the racetrack. Let's quickly take a look at tonight's race information. Send that up top to the big screen for you guys at home to follow along. And again, want to thank all of you so much for being here. As Charles Eaton, clearly Eaton good in the neighborhood, up in that first place position. Dave Hotzema currently holding on to second, and Bryson Hicksonbaugh rounds out your top three. So we are lean, mean, and green out here on the racetrack. Going to try and bring you guys some different camera angles, some other ways to engage this racing content since we're on the road course. Going to try to bring it to the next level, give you viewers a new experience, as well as try to get you more involved in tonight's broadcast as well, as we typically seem to stretch things out a little bit here later on in the broadcast. And to keep it exciting and entertaining, we're going to see how creative you guys can be as well. I appreciate you once again being along, joining the charge with us here on Redline Racing Network. Tell you what, that 63 looks solid here in the early going. Car seems very stable through this tricky section of the race course. All of this going on about 2.1 seconds behind your leader, Charles Eaton, there in the 75 ride. That Chevrolet. Already working lap traffic in front of him here in the early going. There we go. Now it wants to work with us. Had to give it a kick in the pants talking about that layover in graphics. Third time seems to be the charm. And now you guys can follow along with us at home. That ticker. I'm going to show you guys the interval as far as where your favorite driver is running over the course of the race this evening. Now we should be able to take a look at our race information. There we go. Matt and DJ, as I said, top of the show, going to join me up here, bringing the boom, covering the airwaves from start to finish, from the green flag all the way to the checkered flag. The weather clocking in absolutely perfect. Can't ask for much better. 73 degrees ambient air temperature. Little on the muggy side for this portion of the United States. 49% water drain. That's going to translate to partly cloudy skies. It's a 75, goes flow rider mode right in front of traffic. Great heads up there. Great situational awareness as we're going through the weather. Partly cloudy skies and 14-mile-an-hour winds, could be gusting to 17 to 18. Track length officially clocking in at 2.26 miles. Track temperature down on the asphalt, 92 degrees. Under the century mark, so these Xfinity cars will be making a decent amount of grip out there under green flag conditions. It's the 75 now on pit lane. Obviously an unscheduled shop for him as he makes that low crawl down to pit road. Or comes off the pit lane, excuse me. New fast lap on the board. Bryson Hicksonbaugh for 1:37.52. That is a blistering pace out of that 63. In fact, 37-second bracket currently being put down by your top two. Then you have to get, once you break into the 80 or the 38s, and I mean a minute and 38 seconds, that's going to be fourth place on back through about that 9th and 10th place position. Very competitive laps being turned in this section of the field right now, right there around Joseph McWhorter in that 6th place position. Currently even with the board. Not a lot of lead changes inside the top 10. The only position shuffling going on was for second place when Ralph Hutchinson was able to overtake Eric Woodland for that second place position. Other than that, we are even inside the top 10. Now want to officially joining us up here in the broadcast booth tonight. Want to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, DJ Daniel. How are you doing tonight, sir?
What's happening, man? Friday Night Lights.
Hey,
Do much better than that, right?
this is the place to be in prime time. Some of the greatest sim racers all under one roof, and we have a road course showdown, which is going to be high flying, high octane. You know it. In fact, Bryson Hicksonbaugh, Ralph Hutchinson have already put down some blistering laps, and right now we're focusing right around that 7th place position. A great battle here between Joseph McWhorter and Hunter Truel, as these guys are having a little bit of a chess match between each other right now. A little Camaro on TRD action.
Tell you what, that 63 Mustang and Bryson Hicksonbaugh is gone already, man.
He is checked out on another planet. That you are not wrong. Bryson, a great road racer. I've had the privilege to cover some of his competition, and outside of road racing, he's a phenomenal talent, but I love watching that guy just get out there on the road courses and do his thing. It is a thing of beauty. Ooh, getting reports here that Daniel Llewellyn may have had an incident on the racetrack. Let's go ahead and shift gears over to the instant replay. Keep your eyes peeled on that that 07 Camaro as we go ahead and cue playback. Let's see what went wrong. So everything looks perfectly fine right now. He comes up into this hard braking zone. This is a treacherous corner. I like to call it parts corner. Not going to have an incident. He basically almost came to a stop, and SDK is going to trigger an alert for an incident because of how abruptly that 07 came to a stop here tonight. So that's a little bit of a false positive there, folks. Sorry about that. We'll try to work with you over the course of tonight, as SDK sometimes is not necessarily synced on the road side of things as good as I would like it to be, but nonetheless, let's get back to it. If Joseph McWhorter continues to run in that 7th place position, in fact, let's send it down trackside. Let's jump on board with him for the first time tonight. Out of St. Roberts. And DJ, check out the technicality of this portion of the racetrack. I mean, you're going right, you're going left, you're on the throttle, you're on the binders, transitioning back to the throttle. These drivers are having to do a lot almost simultaneously, and then also try to keep an eye on the competition and what they're doing in front of you at the same time.
I'm just going to say I already would have wrecked myself.
You're done that quick, huh?
Only road course I'm okay at is Road America. Which, thankfully, we get to race there here in a couple months, don't we?
We do, in our league, and there's a reason why I'm up here in the broadcast booth, is I'm not looking forward to that race. Maybe one of these guys, Bryson Hicksonbaugh, Tanner Marty, somebody give me some pointers, because I am absolutely atrocious when it comes to road racing. I am not going to lie. But these guys here, different story right now, as it's fast and furious down on the racetrack. Now here comes a 71, giving the business all over the 73. Oh, a three-way. He took it from both ends. The 71 there in the sandwich. He got squirted out of the hot dog bun. The 6, almost the worst of it.
The 07, Daniel Llewellyn, I believe is how you pronounce it. Looks like he's got some issues. He just went a lap down.
You now shift focus here from this great battle on the racetrack. We'll come back here. Daniel Llewellyn in that 07. And he still seems to be having a problem, DJs. Multiple cars still going by here.
That's not good this early, man.
Llewellyn, a fierce competitor out of Texas. Let's jump on board if we can see if he's having any type of engine problems. Looks to be up to speed now. Perhaps he was just getting out of the way of lap traffic there, being courteous, since he is mired further back in this field, currently in that 27th place position. In fact, he's going to open the door there, give the 04 the preferred lane. Yeah, it's clearly something not gelling right in the 07 camp. We send it now on board with him.
It sounds like he's having trouble on the shifts. Is something wrong with the shifter?
We're jumping on board with him now, and we're going to go ahead and crank the volume up here just a little bit more.
It almost sounds like when your clutch is going bad.
Yeah, it's that. Oh, look at the way that when he shifts.
You hear the way he's shifting?
Yep. It's almost like he doesn't have a clutch hooked up, or he's having to use a button clutch.
Oh man, that sucks this early in the race. It's going to be a long, 60 more laps through this guy? Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah, that something is amiss with that gearbox. There's a couple shifts there. It completely tacked out between the gear changes, and I know he didn't.
He's doing a great job staying out the way, though, I will say.
Phenomenal. If that,
Major respect for him.
and that's the thing with a lot of these racers here in this league. They have a ton of respect. They're veterans. You know, they have that common courtesy and respect. But on the other side, when it's go time, when you flick that switch inside the cockpit, you start seeing red, gripping that wheel at 10 and 2, and you're not lifted until you see God or a checkered flag. These drivers know how to turn it up as well, and they put out a great show. But heartbreak here for Daniel Llewellyn. Something.
Yeah, just for reference, how about we go to the leader, the 63, and go on his onboard? Everybody can hear the difference.
Now here's your leader, Bryson Hixenbaugh, who was out or trying to check out, currently has about a 1.64 second advantage over Ralph Hutchinson. Now let's jump inside the race car with him out there under green flag conditions. You can hear the difference already, DJ.
Yeah, but pay attention to how much more healthier the car sounds. And the shifts are so much smoother. This right here is a very tough section of the racetrack.
Oh, it is, and he's sending it out there Bon Jovi style, living on a prayer right now.
I can't tell you how many times I've spun myself out in that sharp left hand.
Yeah, these guys almost make it look easy. He is on all-out assault right now here, putting down a heater.
Very smooth on the wheel. Very smooth on the throttle as well.
Yeah,
That's what you want to do.
You can hear the control and discipline that driver has, both on the loud pedal and on the binders. And DJ, that's a part of being successful as far as road racing is concerned. You have to have that mastered, as that can really affect your lap times. And the better you are, on the pedals, the better your track times are going to, I should say oh my God, talking about getting tongue-tied there for a moment. The better you're going to be out there each and every lap. As we take a peek out the back door of his race car, you can see the closest competition.
That coming.
I was just going to say, he is closing in like a heat-seeking missile. So we now shift gears and jump on board with Ralph. We're going to jump on the nose camber here. As he was coming, he was lit, wasn't he?
He was. So right here is where the 63 is better. I'll take that back.
Bryson said, hey, if you could do it, I could do it too. And I think right now perhaps the 63 is saving a little bit. Maybe he's only running as hard as he needs to keep, Ralph, I don't know exactly what his comfort zone threshold is, but, for a lot of these drivers, it's, around a second, something like take it down as far as a half a second if they're trying to stretch it on fuel. But I think it could be right now that Hixenbaugh is just running just hard enough to keep Ralph, outside of that window of safety that he has kind of in his thought process right now. Is there still, both turning very competitive lap times. Hixenbaugh the last time at the line, a 1:37.52. Ralph in the same vicinity, a 1:37.97. The only two drivers in this field that continue to run in that 1:37.7 bracket, DJ.
Yeah, great job by the 53 there getting out of the way. But the 8 looks like he just struggles on exit. That's where he's getting beat. You can hear him trying to get the throttle down, and he's having to put a lot of counter steer in it off the corner.
Oh yeah, he's working inside the cockpit of that race car. That is for certain. And again, still a great.
I like to do it in real life, but also in the sim, have them bright racing gloves.
Oh, that way we can see the position of their hands here from the broadcast side of things as well. And sometimes that's a bad thing. If you're trying maybe to repay someone out on the racetrack for something they did to you, those yellow gloves or those bright color gloves can give it away sometimes. So you got to be careful when to deploy those.
Or if you're a spotter or crew chief in the box and you see your driver's hands going back and forth, you know that car ain't right.
Yeah, if they're sawing at the wheel, it's It's not a good thing. A lot of times that means a race car is loose.
Yeah, but the gloves I wear in my Camaro and actually in the Sim too, they're black, but they're outlined in yellow, so you can see it from the stands. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm getting more notifications here that Daniel Llewellyn continues to be off the pace. And DJ, one thing we got to take note of here is some of these notifications in our black box for Llewellyn are just because he's trying to be courteous out there and really having to check up in some of these heavier braking zones and is registering that he's actually getting involved in an incident. However, not the case. Roy Collins, on the other hand, let's take a peek and see what happened to him moments ago here in the 39 ride. Let's go ahead and cue the playback. Brownsburg, Indiana in the house representing. Well,
ooh, battle for 7th. They almost touched going into 1.
battle for 7th heating up right now. Jonathan Delaney and Hunter Druhl.
They're going at it.
Little Toyota Odds Chevrolet action. In fact, this is getting right back to the action on the racetrack. We left to cover a couple other segments. Some other drivers out here in competition and what's unfolding. But here we are right back to the hot spot here, that 7th place position. And it is
on, and now it's right back off again. They outdoored going into 1.
Well, you got to kind of pick your poison here, right? You don't want to use your stuff up here early. You got to survive and be alive, you know, to be around at the end of these things. If you really want to be able to contend for the win, it's really easy to burn up your stuff here early. Remember, we got a decent amount of laps here, 100% race length here on the Xfinity side of things. So we are going all the way. And, you know, managing your equipment is going to be, I think, a part of the formula to being successful and winding up here in victory lane this evening.
Yeah, actually, the 71's slowing down because now he's on defense. The 73's working on him now.
And these guys just aren't getting a break. You know, the minute you have one battle that, you know, dissipates, a new one ensues, and here you go, another Chevrolet, and that's McWhorter starting to dial up the excitometer inside the cockpit.
This is where you try to make that pass, but you got to be careful. You got to be way harder on the brakes. He's going to take that wide apex. Look at the run he's going to get right here.
Yeah, he's trying to go ahead and get some run down this longer section of the race course here.
That was an interesting line there, wasn't it?
Hey, you have to, you know, try to, you know, be dynamic here in these.
Oh, the 6 car up there got the turtle.
He caught the sausage patties big time on that one. In fact, let's just grab manual control here, engage the flux capacitor, go back in time. This is worth a second look.
Oh, the 71 missed the corner behind him. 73's going for it. He got him.
Yeah, he got a good portion of the sausage patty there. Front tire up in the air.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy looking from the 73's cockpit.
Yeah, you don't want to do that too many times. You start damaging suspension components and it'll go downhill quick, fast, and in a hurry.
No, what was it? Was it last year at the Roval, I believe it was? Was it Bowman that hit the turtle? And when his car slammed back down, a piece of ballast came off of his car.
Piece of the ballast came.
Disqualifying him, yeah.
Because he lost the weight, and I think it ended someone else's day, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, too. But hey, I'm not complaining about it, man. That put my driver back in the playoffs.
Sometimes you got to have a little bit of help and some luck on your side, and other times you cannot get rid of that dark voodoo cloud that just seems to lurk over your race car. Another driver having a great run here thus far, John Kelly out of Lake George, New York. New York, also my home state growing up. Watkins Glen was my track, even though it was probably a 4.5-hour drive. So a fellow New Yorkian here.
Having a pretty solid day, isn't he, sitting there at night?
You know what, and this is how I like it, at least at lap 13, if we're going to kind of run a little bit of a marathon here. You know, not much going on in front of me, not a lot going on behind me, no pressure, just trying to be out there, learn what I can about how my race car is performing on the racetrack. Oh, that's not what you want to do. That's going to be an off track there. Is John Kelly overshot the apex of that corner, and it took him off track, and he misses again there. And DJ,
Broadcaster's curse, I swear.
it happens all the time. And some drivers, it happens to more than others. But as I was saying moments ago, he's having a solid run, and we're going to shift cameras off of him before it gets worse. How about this guy out of Duval, Washington? Longtime performer and competitor in the Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series. Also over here, going the distance on the Xfinity side of things, Tanner Marty. Great looking paint scheme on board tonight. Here's a guy that's been around for a while. Always count on him to be a part of the action in the mix as far as performance on the racetrack, and just an all-around great guy. That is the 29 of Tanner Marty, who runs just outside of the top 10 in that 11th place position. But he's one of the long-run guys. You know, the longer this race goes, the better Marty will get. And I look for good things out of the 29 camp this evening. Ryan Strunk, another Chevrolet out there on the racetrack. And DJ, a lot of phenomenal looking paint schemes out there tonight. All these cars look A-class.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful cars out here. We got a battle for second now.
Moving back up to the point here. Ralph Hutchinson in the 8. Lucas Hotzema in the 97. That's Sonny D Mustang. There's a driver that will absolutely make you hate life at times, and that is Lucas Hotzema. I mean, he is a master magician behind the wheel. He can shoot you up, spit you out.
Top 3 under a blanket. Oh, we got a car on the apron over there. Who's that?
I did not get a good look at that car. However, clearly had an incident, was out of the preferred lane. We're going to keep it right here on this battle. In fact, let's jump on board with the 97. As he's doing some big-time battling out there on the racetrack.
That was the 08 of Jason Hale. Just got loose. Did spin it around.
That car back up to speed and rolling. Now we'll look back at the 97. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about terrifying, DJ? That's the last thing you want to see when you look out your mirror is a face full of Dark Horse Mustang and Lucas Hotzema behind the wheel.
Does it help that it's bright orange?
That's just for intimidation points.
If these top 3 are under a blanket, there is nothing behind them.
No, they're like the movie right now, in a league of their own. As you have Bryson Hixenbaugh, who continues to carry the torch here. He leads out of Gilbert, Arizona. Then the battle right here, we're focusing on the pressure cooker. This is the hot spot on the racetrack, and that is Ralph Hutchinson going up against Lucas Hotzema. And in fact, 97 is going to back it off just a little bit. You know, these drivers are very keen in knowing, you know, when these Dr. Feelgoods are going to start to get a little too hot, and the racecraft at this level is incredible. And you can see that out there on the racetrack when they dial up the pressure, you know, when they feel confident their tires have cooled down enough or they've waited long enough. You can see that switch flip. And right now, Hotzema backing off, cooling the jets, if you will. You see the flames just...
Oh, the 8 got really loose on entry.
A little bit of a bobble there and slip. And that's going to put Hotzema right on the business end of that Chevrolet once again.
Your tires always remember that. They will never forget that little slide, man.
Well, those slides or that wheel spin, you know, once it starts, it's only going to go downhill from there. And the only cure for that, really, is to come down pit road and put 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on that race car. However, this is a road course. We're not going to see any full-scale caution flags here. Local cautions, but we're not going to see a full track yellow. And well, what does that mean? the opportunities you have to come down pit road, perhaps a little bit less than what you would have at a normal speedway, or the benefit of that yellow flag. Should you make a mistake out there on the racetrack, if you burn them up, you're going to have to hate life until that opportunity, your pit window opens. Let's go ahead and bring it up to the eye in the sky. Want to welcome in everyone currently joining us here on the YouTube.com live side of things. Sound off. Let us know who you're rooting for. We'll get you and your driver some additional screen time. Shout you out in the process. Right here on Redline Racing Network. DJ, now's that point in time of the race. You can start to see some of these strategies being laid out as pit stops soon on the horizon here, sooner than later, I should say.
Yeah, that by now we're almost 20 laps in, so you kind of know what your car's doing. Do you make any adjustments, or do you leave it like it is?
That's a tough decision to make, right? Because if you make a change and you go in the wrong direction, there's really not much you can do in these race cars to try and adjust for it. In NASCAR side of things, you have some brake bias, and that's about all you're going to change from inside the cockpit of the race car versus, other forms of competition. You have a slew of instantaneous adjustments you can make to the race car to help the balance. Not here on the Xfinity sides of things. So if you butcher it, you have to eat it.
Cars are doing a great job getting out the way. Didn't cost either of the leaders much time.
No, one of the best I've seen. And that, I am being dead honest when I say that. The Arizona man has the plan right now. I mean, just look how fluid he is. I haven't seen that car slide, wiggle, you name it. I mean, it looks like he's a slot car out there on the racetrack. And I've run enough laps here to know it is so easy to get this car out of shape. It does not take much. So now fire up the hill, full tilt, hard on the binders here. And DJ, I like to call this corner here Parts Corner. You get someone that blows the braking zone, that impact is ferocious, and you're going to send, shrapnel rating from the heavens. That was...
Hey, I might be able to start something here. I think Tom should sponsor that turn. They did at the Roval. Tom's Heartburn turn.
Heartburn turn. Chase Elliott knows all about that guy.
But then run straight into it. Then
won the race.
Like what?
I would never get that lucky.
Yeah, crew guy they send their biggest crew guy over the wall, and then they just have him start jumping up and down on the hood, and then they bare bonded it down, and then boom, go out and win the race.
Sometimes you just got to wreck it before it'll drive worth a darn. I don't have an answer for that.
It's like that car in Richmond that I wrecked Wednesday, and it got better. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy how things work sometimes.
You're not kidding. Your car definitely drove better after you smashed it up a little bit, and hey, it worked out great, able to get a heck of a finish, but you had to drive for your life coming back through that field. Speaking of through the field, right now it's Bryson Hixenbaugh. He has been your pole sitter and led every single lap of the 18 that's currently being written into the history books. Ralph Hutchinson currently rounds out that second place position, while Lucas Hotzema has the final spot in the podium. Jonathan Delaney, Eric Weiland round out your top five. We're going to step aside for our first commercial break on the evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back momentarily right here on Redline Racing Network. Stick around.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations. Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations. Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Race fans, good evening and welcome back to Redline Racing Network. As Bryson Hixenbach continues to lead here under caution, that safety car back out on the racetrack. And I apologize for the error on our end.
That was a stage caution.
Correct. So I was wrong. I was just ready to apologize. I said we were going to run this caution free. However, stages are another story. This giving all these drivers an opportunity to make adjustments to their race car if needed. This is also going to re-rack, restack the field, and perhaps bring a little more thunder back to the action out there on the racetrack.
So, watching the 810 car that last run, it looked like maybe he just didn't trust the car as much as he needed to. If you notice, the 63 was able to just jerk his car back and forth at will and on and off the throttle as much as he pleased. The 8 just didn't seem to be able to do that. So does he make an adjustment here and try to make it better? Or?
Well, I think the other side of that is, too, it could be two different driving styles. But, to your point, it just seemed like, Hixenbaugh was able to have, his car was a little more nimble versus than what the 8 was either comfortable with or perhaps a handling issue with specifically the way that 8 was tracking out there on the racetrack. But here it is, come one, come all. Here comes the herd. Pit road is going from dormant to the hottest spot here inside the facility. It's a mad dash down pit road.
Hutchinson and I'm gonna butcher this. Hoytsma. Hoytsma. They did a great job just not letting the 63 get away.
They kept him
within striking distance the whole run.
They absolutely did, and that's their calling card. These drivers at this level, and I said this earlier a little bit, but I'll elaborate on it a little more. When you have a strength of field, as high as we.
Oh, the 8! The 8 just beat the 63 off of pit road. The
Big-
97, did he beat him too?
It looks like it as it stands right now as we shift gears, as we follow the action coming off of pit lane. It looks like Ralph is going to get it done in the trenches. That's one way to pass a car that
What a stop.
What a lightning pit stop out of the 8 camp.
He got him by about a fender, but still, he got him. That's all that matters.
It's funny how a game about going, as fast as you possibly can come down to a game of inches at times. But nonetheless, that fender's. Let's see how the clean air affects Ralph Hutchinson now that he's going to have the freshest, cleanest, like I said, he's going to have the benefit of that clean air to the front of that race car. Let's see what he's able to do now. However, Nathaniel Pollard up 14 positions in that TRD-powered Supra. He came down pit road on lap 17. He is going to have the lead here when we go back to green flag racing. Hutchinson, who won the race off of pit road, is going to line up here. P2, Hicksonbaugh in third. Lucas Hotzema residing in that 4th place position. And Jonathan Delaney in the 6th machine is going to round out your top 5. Lights still on that iRacing.com pace car. DJ, if your drivers like Bryson Hicksonbaugh, Lucas Hotzema, Joseph McWhorter, these guys that have had speed up here at the front, what are you going to try to do this run that you necessarily didn't do that first stint of the race to see if you can go up there and, see if you can dethrone some of these guys that have been beating you by just a little bit out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, by now, I mean, you're 23 laps in, you kind of know what you got now. And that long green flag run, you know how your car's gonna go away, and now you can try to take advantage of that.
Well said. I agree 100% with you.
You know when to go and when you need to go, if that makes sense.
Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
But I'm curious to see if that 8 car made any adjustments. Maybe he got that car a little better.
Well, we're about to find out as those lights now go out on the iRacing.com pace car. As that Porsche goes dark, we are about to get lit. Let it rip, Cletus McFarland style here at the Circuit of the Americas. It is the.
We can't overshadow the 16 of Nathaniel Pollard. He is our leader right now. Those old tires. How can he hold on here?
I love the call here to get some track position. Sometimes you got to go full blown Las Vegas high stakes mode. If you can't beat them straight up, you got to roll the dice here.
Well, maybe he pulled that card. He pits before the stage. He's not going to have as much fuel as these guys, but maybe he knew he wasn't going to get stage points or be up front, so maybe he just kind of putt-putted around. Maybe he still has some good left in those good years.
We're about to find out. Is Pollard the furthest forward he's been all race long? And he's going to be going up against Ralph Hutchinson, and he's going to have a pack of hungry wolves behind him, DJ. And all these guys, fresh shoes.
If you're the 8 car, I don't think you can waste any time here at the 16.
No, you have to go.
You want to go, and you want to stay in the lead, and you don't want to give that 63 a chance to get in front of you in case, maybe he made some more adjustments.
In fact, here, we're going to jump on board with the 8 on this restart.
This is going to get pretty wild here going into 1, I bet.
It's about to get hot and heavy, fast and furious out here at the Circuit of the Americas.
These restarts are always wild.
Oh, it's going to be lit. Everyone's going to be drag racing down into Parts Corner here, and hopefully everyone makes it through unscathed.
And now think about this. This is a chance. If maybe you don't have the car to get up here and pass these guys outright, you get a good restart, man. You put yourself in good shape. This is a chance to gain some track position.
Hey, it's all about those opportunities that you have on the racetrack And right now, because of stage racing, this is going to re-energize and recharge the field. And why not? It makes perfect sense. All those guys, those cars you were trying to catch, it's just in front of you. And that's the situation for everyone from nose to tail. And we're going to see it turn up here as that Porsche now brings him through this section of the race course. He's going to pull off. There he goes. Here we go. Polar's going to have the button as we now jump on board with the 8 for this restart. Coming to the green flag. Barney's got it in the air. He's going to let it fly, and it is hammer time once again as we climb up back through the H pattern. The 16 so far. He's hanging out, but here comes the dive bomb from the 8. 3 wide.
Oh, wow. 3 wide.
Get skinny, boys.
The 97's going to squeak through the second. Oh, the 63 just sucker hole.
Little chitty bang bang going on down there on the racetrack into one as we were 3 wide. Cars bouncing off of each other, high-fiving, door slamming, but we're still pointed in the right direction.
Hey, Pollard's still back there giving them the juice.
He is. He's holding on there in third. He has a big-time earful of Jonathan Delaney, who almost gave him the business into that corner.
This race just turned upside down.
Oh, the 87 goes around. He's going to make contact with Kurt Mills. How did they keep that going? That is... What? Absolutely incredible. I mean, that car was gone.
Wow, what a save. That is incredible. Oh, no, the 63. Oh, the 87, when he was in that slide, he caught the 63 in the left front.
Yeah, the slide for life gone wrong there, right into the 63 of Hicksonbaugh.
Report, the 87 came across the radio and said he just wheel hopped.
Thank you for listening to the sounds on the racetrack. DJ, I appreciate that, and I got to thank you for being up here with me as well as...
Pollard just made a pass back for third.
Pollard.
He's hanging in there.
He's putting up the fight right now of the century. Able to take back third place from the Jonathan Delaney. I did not
tell you, Matt.
He
probably pitted and just went on a Sunday cruise around this racetrack.
Well, like I did at Richmond.
Yeah.
Just on a road course, but still, if the cards fall right, it works.
As we got some heat for the lead. The 97's trying to get around the 8. And this was our battle for second.
Right, these guys, we're going right back to these two drivers that cannot seem to get away from each other. They've been like magnets through this majority of this race. The only thing that's changed is where they're doing battle on the racetrack. Hutchinson carries the torch for the first time this evening. Hotsema resides in second. Delaney in third. Pollard fourth, and McWhorter now up to that 5th place position. I can tell you what, DJ, from what I've seen already, it looks like those new shoes and fresh air.
Oh, what a set of corners for the 97.
Did you see that?
That was awesome. That car's on rails.
I mean, look how he was able just to close the gap there when he wanted. It seems like Lucas Hotsema, I think he's holding back a little bit. We're not seeing as good as that car can be, and that could be the case for some of these other guys. But before you made that point, as we jump down here into this heavy braking zone, I think Ralph was able to make an adjustment or two to that race car. It seems to be just a bit, it seems to be tracking better and a bit livelier than it was just moments ago, as he now carries about a half a second advantage through this winding S section of this racetrack over Hotsema.
Yeah, looks like Pollard's car's just kind of giving up on him now, but he's doing a great job.
If you look at all the track position, that he has gained, and when these tires plateau, for the guys that took the shoes, and it will, as it stands right now, this was a great decision. I just don't know necessarily how far his fuel payload can take him, but if he saved a bunch, I mean, that's only going to, help his initiative and do him some favors.
Well, if you think about it, he pitted right before the stage, so, I mean, we went a whole stage. The leaders were able to go the whole stage without stopping. So
Yes.
theoretically, the stages should be the same length. He should be able to carry the same strategy. But what happens in that last stage?
Well, that's the kicker, right? Now, I would go ahead.
Is it long enough to have to stop in that last stage? That'll be the telltale sign of if his strategy is going to work or not.
There's only
So
one way.
I'm trying to figure out the words to get out my mouth.
There's only one way to find out, folks. You got to stick with us right here till the drop of the checkered flag to find out if Nathan Pollard is going to have enough fuel in that race car when it comes down to money time out there on the racetrack. Delaney just goes. New fast lap of the race. DJ, get this, a 1:37.49 out of the 6.
That is cooking.
This gets back
I'll
to...
tell you what, this 97 is lighting a fire underneath Ralph's real bumper right now.
He is giving it to him.
They are nose to tail. He is giving him the business.
Pounded on the back door for all it's worth.
I mean, look at this. He's car leaned back.
Look at how he just attacks that corner.
Now watch here going into one. That 97's really good on the brakes.
I got to find out who his parts supplier is. I wish my car stopped like that. So we now Joe and Hoitsema on board from the cockpit.
Oh, wow. Did you see that?
How can I not
Got the
see
turtle
that?
back there.
Those sausage patties, those turtles, they can disrupt the flow of your day just a little bit. Yeah, that curbing helps you kind of transition this race car, but if you take it too far, it's going to send you for a ride. Now from Hotsuma, looking back at that second place position. Bringing the Fury out there on the racetrack. The lady went faster yet again by another 1/10 of a second. Oh no, and I'm getting a report that Tanner Marty may have had a problem in the 29 ride. Send it back to the instant replay. I'm hoping, big time sausage impact for the 72. It makes him go Dukes a hazard mode, and then he clocks the 29 of Marty. Flow riders him right round. However, that kind of kicked him out of the preferred lane there, able to grab a gear and go. But that all starts with taking a sausage patty to the face, launching a race car up in the air, and unfortunately, Marty was at the right place at the wrong time.
Yeah, sometimes racing just happens, man.
That's a typical road course racing deal there. There was no foul play involved, and you send it back up to the live side of things, and here we go.
I'll tell you what, man. That 97 through those slow sweeping corners is really good. That's where he's beating the 8. And don't look too far back. The 6 is coming, man.
Well, and remember, he's had the rocket ship here in the last 2 or 3 laps or so. He has lit the afterburner, and Delaney is running these guys down out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, I think if you're the 97 now, you gotta get around the 8 because 6 is coming, and if he gets the lead, he's gonna drive away.
The other thing you have to keep in mind, though, too, is much speed as Delaney has right now. How much of those tires is he using? Making up all this ground. Remember, not that long ago, there was about a 1.5-second differential. And granted, these two cars up in front are fighting. In fact, 97 thought about taking a peek on the outside of the racetrack.
Thought better of it.
You have to be decisive. You have to be calculated, DJ, when you pull the trigger, because if you miss, it can cost you.
This section right here is where the 8's really good. But then you get to the next sector of the track, and look at this. See the 97? Those slower corners?
Oh, the 6 goes off the racetrack. He gets
Wow,
into
what
the
a
marbles.
He's there.
Now it's a 3-way battle.
It It looked like a bad corner, but by God, it was a good one.
I thought it was a bad corner, too. I mean, he was kicking up dust, everything. The kitchen sink.
I think the 8's actually slowing the 97 up here. So if you're the 97, do you use that chrome horn?
Oh, he's going to give him the business. You know it's coming.
You know that 6 car, he's way faster than both of you. And you got to get around this 8 and try to get the clean air and drive away.
You know, as these laps continue to count.
The 8 is all over the place.
That's what I'm worried about. The 8 is just driving for his life right now.
Here it is. Here it is. He's looking to the inside.
Gonna send it down to the bottom of the racetrack.
No challenge. What a pass. Does he cross him here? Going into 1.
He doesn't seem to have the momentum, at least right now. The 97 has the position and the preferred line into this.
Go defense, but
he's going to kind of run the. Oh, I thought he was going to run the 8 wide.
8 got a really good corner around the outside.
A darn good corner on the outside.
Whoa, that was close.
I don't think Hotsuma even thought that was possible.
So now, if you're the 97, whoa!
We'll hold on to it, boys.
Man. Oh no!
2x2, side by side.
We're sitting here watching this from our seats. That when you hit the turtles like that, it is incredibly hard to save.
Well, the 8 just looked like he went through a whoop section of the racetrack right there. We had all 4 tires off the ground, I think.
Oh my goodness! Can you see the 6 car's helmet?
I can see that he has a.
Look through the windshield.
Unfortunately, I don't have the camera leverage that you do right now at my disposal, but I got enough on.
Interesting.
Well, his SDK profile picture is.
I think we need to at least show his helmet on the broadcast. It's worth it.
Perhaps when we go to the next commercial break, I could play with the cameras. Play with the cameras a little bit and bring that to you. But if it's anything like his SDK profile picture, I'm sure it's worth the look.
It is a giant smiley face with its tongue sticking out. That's probably one of the best helmets I've seen.
Speaking of best helmets, this is hands down the best race at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, I've seen all week long. Hands down, without question.
I love when we got personality under these helmets.
You have to have personality, right?
You got to give them their colors.
Hey, I am all about a loud paint scheme. Give me some good reads on as far as your marketing, your sponsors go. Oh, someone just went in blink mode.
We're really about to find out what the 97 and the 6 have right here. We'll watch their next lap times. The 6, the last lap was a second slower, but remember he was in the middle of that battle.
Yeah, now that they're strung back out a little bit, you're going to see really their maximum, or you would think their peak optimum lap times right now here. And in fact, last time by, Hotsuma was a 138.76 to Delaney's 139.83. Ralph Hutchinson, that he may have pushed this race car a little too hard there, has now fallen off a cliff.
And that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he did make an adjustment, and it just wasn't the right one. But it's not over yet, man. You're still going to get another caution. You get to regroup, and I mean, you're in 3rd place. You still got another shot at this thing. It's not over. Just be patient.
I promise you this. There's a lot of drivers in this field right now. In fact, we have 28 drivers that took the initial green flag. And I guarantee you, any one of them would love to be in 3rd place right now. And in fact, he's even with the board. He started P3. That's where he runs. And he has a sizable cushion. I mean, you have to go all the way back to McWhorter, who was about 4 seconds off of the bumper. And in fact, there's a great battle here once again between the 73 McWhorter. Then you have the Toyota being piloted by Hunter Truel and Bryson Hicksonbaugh right here in the mix as well.
So here you go. Well, what I was just telling you last time by, the 6 car 10s faster than the 97 last time by.
Oh, the Hunter Truel just got up close and personal with Joseph McWhorter.
Oh, big slide. You see that?
The slide for life right now going on that fifth place position. This battle right now on board. He comes up and he does hit him. He bonks him coming off the corner, letting the corner know, hey, I want by. Gives him a warning shot. The 73 opens the door.
Doors. He's going to shove them wide. Oh, we got fireworks here. Look at the 63.
63's able to get by. He's going to try to get by the outside. Able to overtake.
He's just going to go by them all, ain't he? Look at that. Look, he's going to get another one. That's 63.
Hicksonball has gone supernova. Overtaking, 2-3 cars on the outside?
Yeah. So to your point, who was it that spun? And somebody spun, and the back of their car tagged him in the left front. I don't see any cosmetic damage, but maybe there's a little bit of steering that's off or something. Maybe that's why he's a little more off the pace right now.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
But, I mean, you're still in fourth. It's not over yet.
No, there's a lot of racing here to go. I mean, we're not even. I mean, we're only 34 laps into this piece.
And we've seen him. He's flexed his muscles. He led a lot of laps and it was pretty much uncontested for most of it. He's got the car to do it. We're gonna get another restart, man. It's gonna get wild.
It is.
People are gonna know that's your last chance you got.
And that's what it's going to come down to. I think right now these drivers are playing a lot of mental Hunger Games with each other. They're not really showing what they have. They haven't laid their hand yet. I think once we get through this next stage, once we cycle, to game time or prime time is like what I like to call it out there on the racetrack, that last stage, that's what we're going to see really what these guys have under the hood and who's got the serious boogie around this place. I don't think we've seen 100% from any one of these drivers just yet. But I mean, clearly Bryson Hicksonbaugh has had flashes of just straight brilliance out there on the racetrack, and we just seen that moments ago with the way he was just able to, hey, I'm going to take it outside, Eminem style, and just drive right on by the competition. Slots it in that fourth place position.
That was a wild move, wasn't it?
I love the confidence.
The leaders just went around the 07, and the 07 goes, "Give me some Sunny D."
I could actually go for some Sunny D, and that's the other part.
that was pretty funny.
The other part of that.
Whoa! Oh man.
He's going to need some scented candles and wet naps after that one.
I'm going to have to mail him some dude wipes after that one.
That's my point exactly. And as it stands right now, that was probably the Don't Stain Your Ride Use Tide moment of the race, brought to you by Jonathan Delaney. As that car looked like Travis Pastrana Nitro Circus out there on the racetrack.
I mean, I tell this to everybody, man. This is such a game of inches. I mean, a little far to the left, a little far to the right, and you're in the turtles or you're spinning out. It's insane.
That's another great point, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's not like you have this massive, racetrack to work with. It is tight, it is narrow, it is confined. Quite frankly with you, it's tough for me to run this racetrack with no one around me and keep it in between the lines, let alone someone breathing down my back or, side by side. Forget about it.
I can't even get around this place either, and just keep me. I'm not touching the Chicago street course with a 10-foot pole. I could barely get around it by myself.
Tell you what, the real deal Corey Teal may have been involved in an incident.
Oh man,
That's going to be the 93 machine. Got a piece of the turtles there.
Yeah, he's
And
currently 33 laps down. Maybe he had issues early also.
Oh, he definitely did have. Oh, there he goes. Got a little too hard. Oh, Hicksonbaugh just barely able to get by it, too.
Oh, man.
Talk about a Code Brown moment. Now, Code everything. And that's the other thing, too. You could have a great car, be in the lead. You have someone, that steps on their biscuits out in front of you. That happens. sometimes it's game over. "36 laps into this race." DJ, let's go ahead and go through the field. We're going to go everyone as they run right now from start to finish, from the top of the pecking order to the caboose of this thing. Starting with Lucas Hotsema. That Sunny D man has got the juice, as DJ said earlier, inside of that Dark Horse Ford Mustang. He currently leads the way here at the lap 37 mark of this race. Jonathan Delaney has had some brilliant speed here in the recent laps. Currently runs in that second place position, up 6 spots from where he started. Even with the board, Ralph Hutchinson putting together a very solid race effort and performance thus far, even with the board in third. Bryson Hixenbaugh, who led in the early going, got beat coming off of pit road and shuffled a little further back in the running order, currently resides in fourth. While Hunter Truel, last time by a 141.84, up 2 spots to the good, currently resides in that 5th place position. Again, 5th, 6th, and 7th continues to be a hotbed on the racetrack. That's where you're going to find Joseph McWhorter in that Chevrolet orange and gray colors on board this evening. Just behind him, working about a half a car length, if not a little closer at times, is the 69 ride of Kirk Mills. Out of Lake George, we talked about him earlier, but in the 04 machine, John Kelly resides in that 8th place position, while Matthew Wheeler out of West Palm Beach, Florida, just about 20 minutes south of me, currently holding on to a top 10, up 5 spots to the good since the drop of the checkered flag in 9th. And Nathaniel Pollard, the man that went full-blown high-stakes Las Vegas mode on that first stage to stay out there, currently has fallen back through the field, but however, resides in that 10th place position. Mark Paget, the 02 Chevrolet state-sponsored Camaro, currently working just in back of that battle that's raging right now for 9th and 10th, currently in the 11th place position, while Mark Strunk, the 77,
the 63 comes down pit road. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's all right, man. No problem. 63 is coming down pit road as it stands.
Strategy here.
Big time strategy play for the 63 is he runs in 10th. Tanner J. Marty had a spin out there on the racetrack, runs in that 13th place position. Well, Jim Schofield in the Toyota holding on to a top 15. Good effort from him. And we're actually going to break protocol here, DJ. We're going to go up and take a look here at a car you just shouted out moments ago. That is Hixenbaugh with a strategy play as we currently pick up his progress as he's coming off of pit road.
Yeah, he's going to try to pull what the 16 tried to pull.
Yeah, I think he liked what he saw out of that move.
We got a battle for the stage win. The 6 car's there.
And we're there too as well. Hotsema continues to lead the way, however. Jonathan Delaney.
Lap, the 6 car half a second faster.
A 139.56 to a 139.06. So clearly, Delaney holding back a little bit, and now he has turned it up. Applied everything. Trying to get Hotsema to flinch, and he is the Iceman at the line. Hotsema's going to continue to lead over Delaney and Hutchinson.
Pitch just got closed, so that tells me we got 2 laps to the stage.
2 laps remaining in this stage, and DJ right on cue. The competition, oh, look out, 3 car. As Hotsema had to bonsai it back to the bottom.
The 6 car's got the speed to get there, but getting to him's one thing,
passing him's another. If that ain't the truth. I mean, you can just see.
Look how good the 6 car is through there.
You're now on board with Delaney.
I mean, that was like slicing a butter knife through hot butter.
Hey, when you're on, you're on. 97 got a good corner there. Look at him utilize all the real estate being the racetrack. Gonna slide it high and wide and attack down to the bottom and put the power down. I'll tell you what, the 6 and 97, they are all out right now. Listen to these cars roaring. Very methodical on that steering wheel. You can see those inputs from Delaney.
Yeah, at this point, your tires are shot. They're wore out.
Oh, yeah, they're...
I mean, any little minor inconvenience, putting that steering wheel or that gas pedal or braking, it'll spin out. It's like playing with fire.
Play with fire, you're going to get burned. And you play with Hotsuma or Delaney on any given Sunday.
The 6 is looking. The 6, he's there.
He's peeking. I think he's just trying to set him up right now.
But he's trying to get all up in that mirror. And he's trying to make
The 97 missed.
There
He
it
made a
is.
mistake. He hit the sausage patty. It jumped up and bit him
And here's where the 6 car is the best.
right here.
Watch it. Look how he closes that gap. He's going to have a shot.
I'll tell you what, he's going to have a shot with the 97 recovered brilliantly.
The bumper!
Boom!
He's going to give him the bumper! He gives him the business.
Boom, shakalaka,
inside.
out there on the
That's not
racetrack.
enough. Now, he's going to try to cross him over here.
Slam
He's
the
got
door
one
in his
more.
face.
One more braking zone. Can he do it? Not close enough to give him the bumper.
Oh, but he was almost close enough, but he is not there. Now they drag race through this high-speed.
Corner.
One more quarter to go. Can the 6 do it? Or does Hotsuma hold him off?
The 97 got loose, but
They both drifted.
is he going to give him the business?
Hotsuma running for his life.
Oh, he's trying. He tried to get there.
Delaney is possessed right now in that Camaro.
What a drive by the 97.
How about that performance there from these two drivers? That reminded me, and I know it's at a different racetrack, but A.J. Allmendinger going up against the man that, the first Australian, really to make a name for himself.
Get a stage caution.
Well, we assume, right?
It looks like the 6 is backed off.
Yeah, he's backed off big time. However, we are still lean, mean, and green out there on the racetrack.
I'm assuming that they don't throw the caution until the 10th car is
Right.
actually across the line.
Right,
Yep,
and
there it is.
that would be Mark Paget, who just came across the line. And there he is, and there's the caution flag.
So Pollard actually going to get a couple points.
That call worked out brilliantly for Pollard. I mean, trending right now, as far as, gains and losses on the scoring pylon, he is 6 positions to the good. And if you look where he was running before that, he actually had backslid a little bit. So that was a huge gain there for the 16. And the other takeaway here, DJ, is like you were getting to earlier, he was able to go the distance, even though he came down pit road 3 laps before the leaders did.
Yeah, it's going to be... so here's the deal. Stage 1, Stage 2 looks like 20 laps apiece. The last stage is going to be 25 laps.
25,
I don't
right.
know if they can go that far. My overlays won't tell me how much fuel they have on board, but it's going to be pretty interesting.
I think we're going to see, and again, DJ, I appreciate you also being that in-race performance and track analyst reporter role as well, having those overlays and that critical data up at your disposal here to share with us here on the broadcast. I appreciate that. Something tells me we're probably going to see a little bit of fuel saving going on. If we'll be able to tell by the language that the way they're racing out there, if they think they can go the distance, or if they're going to have to stop for some go fast before this one's all said and done, or you would think.
I'm not going to say it's out the window, because we've seen some guys save some fuel we didn't think they could save. And those guys weren't, pros. And some of these guys are,
Well said. I think this is going to get very interesting. There's going to be some big-time battles out there on the racetrack, but it's also going to be, calculated as well, and who's going to perhaps do a better job of saving that Sunoco racing fuel when it comes down to it here at the end. It's caution waves, not for incident, but for...
Now, I'm no crew chief, but the 63 pitted early. Maybe you can't make it to the end of the race. But you come back down pit road and just top off, and you'll still gain all that track position. And we know he's got a really good car.
Phenomenal race car. And, I noted throughout the course of that run there that he was running probably a half second slower at times compared to some of the lap times that he was putting down in his first stint. He could be taking a play out of the 16's playbook here. And let's see if that's the case. That's the call out of the 63 camp. Just a quick gas and go, and looks to perhaps gain a lot of spots here on pit road if that's the card he indeed decides to play.
I think it can go either way, but like I said, I'm no crew chief. These guys probably got their own crew chiefs.
Well, all these drivers, most of them do have that voice of reason, that crew chief, that spotter in their ear, and again, makes all the difference. DJ, when you spot for me, you can see the performance reflect on the racetrack each and every time, unless, well, we take a race car to the face, which can't happen, but there's a lot of guys behind the scene helping the efforts.
The 97 is going to drag the whole herd down pit road.
Everyone. The running of the bulls here at the Circuit of the Americas.
The stampede.
Yeah, that's right.
And the 63 stays out. Wow, look at the 6. He is pushing the 97 down pit road. He is wasting no time.
He's telling, you better be on that pit limiter, and if you're not, I'm going to make sure you are. I got a black flag for doing that once.
Are you serious?
I got a penalty for doing that.
The 6 might be a little bit faster. This will be interesting.
Well, who's going to beat on the jack drop? The 6 is the first one to roll.
The 8 got the 6. Those are 3 really fast pit stops.
Well, lightning fast pit stops for all 3 of these drivers, but the interesting part there was Delaney actually got the drop on the jack first.
Maybe just not as comfortable on the throttle, didn't want to upset those tires.
Bingo, 100%.
I mean, we've all lit those tires up a couple times coming out of our boxes, and we learned the hard way that you don't need to do that.
Man, I've done it and stepped on my own lug nuts in the process and put it right in the fence.
Now our teammate, Trey Whitehead, always told me that when you come off the jack, go in second gear.
That's what I do. Yeah, you may not be able to leave as hard as you can in first gear, but guess what? You have a little bit of leeway.
You do.
And I've done it so much, that's pretty much, I almost have to remind myself, oh, hey, leave in first gear, as I've been doing it for so long. And in fact, Trey's the guy that gave me that idea about 3 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, talking about Trey Whitehead, he is an awesome personality to have around him. Now, obviously, y'all race for me, but I mean, we're like a big old family.
Yeah, we are. Technically, it's your team, but we've ran on the team on Whitehead Racing before too. And I'll tell you what, that is. Not to shift gears here, but I mean, that is as far as our league is concerned at our level, I mean, we have an all-star lineup on our team, and it's so fun to be a part of it. I feel like I shouldn't be there, I mean, as good as you guys are. However, the season has gone a lot better than I would have projected, and happy to be a part of it, man. We're having a good time, just like all of you here joining us on Racers Elite Network. Under caution as the field being led by that iRacing.com Porsche out there on the racetrack. We're going to take a break. We're going to recharge on our end. We'll be right back to it here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations. Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to Redline Racing Network. Here, doing battle, Circuit of the Americas, first road course on the 2025 campaign, currently underway. Lucas Hoeksema leading the charge as we're getting into the later stages of this race. It's Hoeksema, Hixenbaugh, Jonathan Delaney, Hunter Truex, Ralph Hutchinson, and Joseph McWhorter rounding out your front runners currently. And they were back to the fast and furious action on the racetrack. Green flag back in the air. DJ Hoeksema continues to lead, but look who is lurking in that second place position. Bryson Hixenbaugh is back in this race.
Yeah, he was actually the control car on the last restart. He did a great job holding off the 97 for a little bit, but that 97 is just too good.
Sonny D being referenced there by DJ Daniel. Of course, he's leading right now, and DJ, you're right.
He's all jacked up on Sonny D.
Well, we were all jacked up on Mountain Dew the night before, so it's Sonny D tonight. I just can't get over how he...
If you're the 97 here, just... you beat the 63, he's on a little bit older tires than you. You got a pretty big gap to you behind the 6, who was the first car on tires. I mean, just drive it. I mean, don't overdrive it. Just get through all these corners. I mean, 19 more laps, and it's in the books, man. You'll win this thing.
Easier said than done. I mean, this track will chew you up and spit you out. It's very technical racetrack, but no, for the all intents and purposes. And holy good Lord Jesus, Hoeksema just put up a howitzer. All 1, 3, 6, 2, 6. Where did he pull that lap from?
Reminds me of, what is it, the World of Outlaws, where the guy, every time somebody sets a quick time, he goes, quick time!
It's like Hoeksema's got a Nissan Skyline GTR underneath that Ford Mustang body and all-wheel drive and 1,000 horsepower. A 136.62. That is stupid fast.
As one of my best friends, Chris, would say, that was a heater.
It's a heater, but I was saying earlier, I don't think these guys are showing us everything they have just yet. And I think Hoeksema just gave us a glimpse of what that Sonny D machine is capable of. And in fact, now Hixenbaugh running his fastest laps of the race right now, and the same for Delaney. So as this pace picks up, DJ, these drivers, the competition, at least inside the top 5, is able to respond with, increasing the performance of their own race cars out there on the racetrack as well, as Hoeksema tried to check out here.
So the last two stages, I mean, you were fighting for points, but you're not fighting for a race win, and everybody wants to win the race. And it's like my old man used to say, you always, when it comes to racing, you want to play chess, not checkers. You don't want to show what you have because then other people are going to make adjustments to counter that.
Yeah, well said.
And anybody who has played chess knows chess is very technical.
Very technical, just like this racetrack is. Great analogy there. As we now look out the back door of Lucas Hotsema's race car back at Hixenbaugh with a close proximity to Jonathan Delaney in second in that third place position.
And now seeing a 136 on the board, that is a heater, but it makes me a little nervous. Is he going too hard too early? We still got 18 laps left around this place.
Right, and remember, it is well over 2 miles to complete a lap here, so that's a lot of racing. And you have to remember, this racetrack isn't like what I like to call, Watkins Glen, in my opinion, is the super speedway of road courses. A lot of high-speed straightaways into that racetrack. Even the technical sections, you can still carry a lot of momentum. Here, Circuit of the Americas, this is a whole different beast altogether. If you're pushing your race car, it's going to get more magnified here at a racetrack like this versus a track like Watkins Glen, in my opinion. And you have a point, and that's something to watch, DJ. But someone else that's starting to close in is Delaney starting to reel back in on the 6 machine.
Now, I mean, like I said, we got 17 laps to go. The 6 knows he's got the car to get there. It's why he got that turtle. But we know he's got the car to get there. But now, this late in the race, how patient will he be when he gets there?
I think that time, well, if he does, I can promise you, I don't think you're going to see any form of patience. It's going to be smash to pass, perhaps. I mean, right off the rip. I mean, this is game time now, right? This is what you've spent your evening out there on the racetrack, grueling it out, fighting the good fight to get down to these moments of the racetrack. You put your car in contention, you're in position, and I think give and take is out the window. We've seen a lot of that earlier, but this time, 17 laps to go, it's all or nothing, right?
100%. Now the 6 car, the 63 still, he's hanging in there. I'm surprised. But we've seen he's got a really fast car, but behind the 8 ball, I mean, he's got 2 or 3 lap older tires, which doesn't sound like a lot. But like you said, this place is over 2 miles long. That's a long time.
A lot of real estate to work with out there on the racetrack. And look at the charge here from Delaney. I mean, he has lit the candle in that Camaro. And he is really starting to apply some pressure here to Hixenbaugh. Remember, folks, he does not have the same shoes as Hotsema and Delaney. Those two drivers, and in fact, everyone inside of the top 20, virtually down on, lap 42. Hixenbaugh taking a page out of the 63 from earlier, or excuse me, the 12 or 16 from earlier. Nathaniel Pollard. Here it goes, the pass.
To the outside. Couldn't get there. He got loose.
Hey, if you try, you'll succeed. Try again, right? Oh, he hits the big-time sausage patty moment there, though. Set the front of that race car up in the air. That's going to cost him a little bit of time there. And in fact, now Hixenbaugh is going to open it back up to about 0.7 of a second because of that mistake from Delaney. The first one I've seen from him all day, DJ.
Now, this late in the race, man, you get caught up behind this guy, and I mean, time just slowly ticks away.
Yeah, quick, fast, and in a hurry too. In moments like this, when it always seems like in racing, when you want time to go fast, it takes forever, and when you need more, it's never there.
If I'm the 6 car here, which I'm not, but if I'm the 6 car, I'm gonna start to push the issue now, because it's time to go. You got to get around the 63 and give yourself time, not only to get to the 97. We've seen them do it once, but also to try to get around them.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
you're gonna need that 97 car's fast. He's no slouch. It's gonna take a couple laps for you to get around him unless he makes a big mistake.
and not that it's impossible, but I mean, Lucas Hotsema making a mistake. I mean, you got better chance. Well, I'll save that comment for later, as I don't want to invoke bad things to happen here. But as Hotsema continues to hold off the fast and furious battle from Hixenbaugh and Delaney, as these two are throwing haymakers at each other, no holds bars right now. I mean, it is all out World War II style trench warfare between the 6 and the 63. I mean, this is about as good as it gets right here.
Now, this is how you know that 63 car's fast. That is how you know they came off the trailer fast. I mean, you got 3-lap older tires and you're holding on like this up front? I mean, come on now.
Hixenbaugh is a beast anytime he decides to join.
Makes no mistakes. I mean, he's perfect. Knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood right now. I don't want to jinx him.
There was a time when I broadcaster cursed the 63, and we're going to stop talking about that. We're going to pump the brakes on that one. Again, from Hotsema's view, if we send it up to the eye of the sky here, to the blip, you can see the real estate between first, second, and third is Hotsema just able to keep that cushion, that window of safety, just a moment to breathe out there on the racetrack, where if he slips or has a bad corner, it's not going to be game over. However, if you pan back a little bit to Hixenbaugh, that's a different story, because breathing down his neck is Jonathan Delaney right there in that third place position. I just can't get over how quick they are through that sector of the race course, DJ. Those times through there are incredible.
It's crazy. We ought to go on board when somebody goes through there, just so everybody can see. It may not look, it may look fast from our perspective, but you're really not going to see how fast it actually is until you're on board.
Oh, the 6 got the runs there. He locked up the right rear, slid it, smoked it. That could hurt the drive off the quarter here, as that Goodyear Eagle might be a little hotter than it would like right now. Keep our eyes on that. And in fact, that gap is widening now just a little bit between Hixenbaugh and Delaney. $14 laps to go. Let's go ahead and widen this out again a little bit, DJ. I want to give these drivers, everyone in this field, there's a big-time star-studded lineup here tonight. You can't say enough good things about all these drivers out here in competition, and what a privilege to be up here in the broadcast booth, getting to call the shots here, watching all these guys compete out there on the racetrack. We started this race with 28 cars, and a majority of them still in this race. Absolutely incredible. For the first time this evening, let's go ahead and turn it up. At home, grab that dial, go ahead and turn it up to the stratosphere. Join along right here with us on Redline Racing Network. We got to get this in at some point, TJ. You know we got to crank it for these guys watching at home. Let's do this thing here on Redline Racing Network. Let's go.
You read my mind.
Race fans, welcome back to Redline Racing Network. Gentlemen's Handshake lap officially on the board as we're just 10 laps to go in this one. Appreciate all of you for being along the ride, for all the high-flying, high-octane racing action right here on Redline Racing Network. Everyone trying to be as good as the Sunny D-Man with the plan right now, Lucas Hotzema. And while we are on that all-out, wide-open coverage break, we're starting to see some things in the trends on the data side, aren't we?
Yeah, a couple laps ago, your top three were all within tens of thousands of seconds of each other. I mean, that is incredible. These guys are running that close. And what, this place is 2.5, 3 miles long? Like, come on now. That is, I don't even have the words. You have words for that?
In fact, SDK is getting mind blown right now because the top three cars last time by all ran 138.80s. Now at iRacing, it's going to give you that extra digit, but as far as to our time and scoring is concerned, they all ran the same lap time, first, second, and third. All the podium. That's that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, any of these top three can win this race if all the cards play right.
And let's not forget, Hixenbaugh is on an older set of shoes. He's like on Granny's Sunday slippers, if you will, and he is up there. I mean, last time by, I mean, they just kicked it up another level. He just ran. He was back in the 37s that lap.
This is incredible. The 63 is drawing a beat on the 97 car with 3 lap older tires. I mean, a tenth faster last time.
I mean, you can't script this stuff that good in Hollywood. In fact, we're going to throw the telemetry on board. Hixenbaugh is going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It'll also show you the gear he's in as well. Is this still the old school H pattern? You're rowing inside the race car. That's what it's all about. You also can see the throttle control telemetry there as well, which is another cool graph to take a look at. You see how these guys finesse the throttle. We send it back to the back door camera off of Hotzema.
I mean, now, if you're Hotzema, you have to run the most perfect 9 more laps of your life. Because that 63 car's there.
You got to be Superman behind the wheel.
Don't forget about the 6 either. I mean,
if
you got 3 horses. Three horses under a blanket.
Just like I like my Waffle House hash brown, smothered and covered. If one of these drivers slips, someone else is going to be there to strike. Tick, 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 tick. The clock continues to wind down as we're officially burning the midnight oil now. 3 car off the pace, going to get way out of the way. Send it to the high side. Great job by the 3 machine, and that is Tim Phillips. Actually, that is Mad Mike in the 3 there. Out of Youngstown, Ohio.
You mentioned Waffle House, and then you said tick, 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 and all I could think about was Martinsville. I mean, I can't wait to watch these guys at my home track.
Hey, the grandfather clock, that is an iconic trophy, and we know what drivers will do there to go ahead and win that, to put in their showcase, and I expect that from these drivers right here as well.
Do you know how awesome it is to be 20 minutes away from that place? I mean,
that's right. I mean, it's right out your back door, virtually,
yeah,
literally,
right. I mean,
literally.
So last time by, incredibly enough, the 63 is 0.2 faster than the 97. I mean, what
How?
in the world?
I mean, there's good, and then there's being scary good. And that's what Hixenbaugh is right now. I mean, he has gone supernova on the competition.
I mean, I don't have the overlays to see his throttle and brake telemetry, but I mean, that wheel is not all over the place. He is smooth all the way around this racetrack. I mean, it's incredible.
Well,
the raw talent inside that 63 car is incredible.
What I would give to be a quarter as good as this guy is.
I know, right?
Throw up his telemetry.
He's closing the gap.
I don't. This is incredible. It's almost like he had that much confidence in his race car and in his racecraft to be able to take that tire deficit and know that he'd have the performance to hang with these front runners. This is incredible.
You know, if it was anybody else, I would have doubted. I would have
For
said
sure.
he's going to get trumped. But I mean, that 63 car, we saw how fast he was to start. He set the pole. He led, pretty much the whole first stage?
In its entirety. He didn't
I
get
mean-
passed until coming out of the pit lane.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can't count that guy out. Come on.
I don't count any given Friday. There's not one person in this field that is not capable of winning a race. I mean, a lot of leagues you have your field filler at times, if you will, and Lord knows that was me for a long time. I'll be the first one to admit it. But right here,
I think we've all been there at some point,
You know,
even me.
we all have to start somewhere. But you know, this group of talent right here, they all can win on any Friday night. And DJ, the other part of that is, if you're loving the competition right here on Redline Racing Network, you got to make sure you tune in tomorrow night on McConey Racing Entertainment to watch these drivers suit up and go back at it one more time. And oh yeah, they're going to send it 100%er again in the Cup cars tomorrow night, and that's going to be on McConey Racing Entertainment.
That lap car did a great job getting out the way, but the 97 just caught him in a bad spot. That's another 10th off the board for the 63.
Another
He's
10th
a
gone,
little
and
bit more
another
than
10th
that to
gone.
get there. But I mean, he's doing an awesome job. If you look at his lap times, look how consistent they are.
I wait a minute. I think I have a graph for this we can throw up there on the screen, but I mean, it's almost like SDK has stopped updating his lap times because they are that consistent. That's how close they are right now. And if you
I
want
mean,
to,
every lap he runs, he's within a 10th. And that sounds like it might be a cakewalk, but that is hard to do, man. I mean, think about it.
this isn't a mile and a
3
half.
miles?
This is
Yeah.
not. It's not a mile and a half cookie cutter racetrack with ideal conditions, or under the lights where there's minimal tire wear and you know the air is perfect. This is a road course, and yet you know an extremely technical and challenging one, and yet he's out there hitting all of his shift points, his lift points, everything that he's doing right now to be within a 10th each and every lap. That is next level. I mean, I don't want to say impossible, but it's extremely difficult to do. And I'm leaving his telemetry up just so, you know, all the folks, you know, along board with us for the ride right now can just get, you know, a little bit more of a granular glimpse of what he is actually doing inside of this race car. It is absolutely incredible.
I mean, last time by, that's another 10th.
1 minute 39:30 to a 1 minute 39:29. That's
So
how
maybe not a
close.
10th, but
That's how close it is.
he's still technically running faster times. I mean, that's crazy to say. So I'm guessing as hard as the 63 is going, fuel's probably not an issue.
I'm going to say that's out the window.
I mean, we got 5 more laps around this place.
You know, doesn't seem like a lot of time left remaining on the clock. However, this racetrack, it's a different story. Road racing is a different animal. The way you approach it, everything you do to prepare is altogether different. But like the saying always says, the cream shall rise to the top.
Even if the 63 isn't able to get there or win the race, I mean, he's kept the 97 honest this whole time.
100%.
He's doing everything that he needs to do. He's at a tire disadvantage, but he stayed close enough that if the 97 for whatever makes a mistake, or you know, just the slightest bobble, nicks a turtle, anything, the 63's there, and he's going to be able to pounce on it.
And as we switch now the camera view over to a different angle we typically don't use a lot, you know, you're still able to see Lucas Hotzema, and then in the background there, you do have Hixenbaugh, who continues to run about 1.5 seconds off the lead pace. You know, let's just
We got a
white.
caution. We got a caution.
Yellow out on the racetrack. Are you kidding me?
What? Are you? Whoa,
When
my,
there's
that,
thunder, there is lightning.
Oh no! You know the 97 is
No.
jumping up and down right now.
No. Are you what?
Oh no!
Folks,
We're
Hey.
gonna have a green-white checkered.
oh my.
What happened for them to throw the yellow? I didn't even see it.
Was timing and scoring has been going ballistic all race long due to how SDK is calibrated to alert us to cautions to the point where I can't even trust it. So I don't know. I don't know why that yellow flag flew.
I'm not hearing anything over the radio.
I was just going to ask you anything on the chatter side of things that you hear in the background.
I have not heard anything.
You know,
Usually I immediately will tell you. I haven't heard anything yet.
well, folks, take the script, crumple it up, throw it out the window.
If I'm the 97, I'm losing my mind right now.
Oh, he's madder than a Keebler elf that got demoted to Fudge Packer without question. He has got to be livid.
If that 97 was a Yellow Jackets nest, you're getting stung.
I mean, they
might as well just accept your fate.
they better phone Dr. Phil and get him in the ear, get him inside the helmet of that driver because he has got to be livid. He is stewing right now. He has to be. Why would you not?
Man.
However, for everyone
Incredible.
else other than Hotsuma, this will rekindle their spirits and relight the charge if they lost any.
So it was an admin caution, which means a official in here did throw the yellow. I'm still having trouble. I don't know what happened.
Well,
I'm trying to find it.
I have an idea, DJ. I'm going to do something a little, I don't want to say unorthodox, but kind of off the script, if you will. I'm going to leave you here in the booth to call what's going on, and I'm going to see if I can poke my head down in race control and get an update from one of them, and then I'll return to the booth and I'll share that information with all of you as long as I can get in the back door. We'll see if it's open.
Okay.
All right, DJ, I'll be back in 30 seconds. See if I can get an answer as to why, or some clarity as to why the caution did come out here, setting us up for an overtime road course thriller. I will be back momentarily, bud. You got it.
10-4.
We go one farther.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Yeah, man. I'll clarify that. So we had a special rule tonight. We're going to try out for road courses where there's a 70% chance of a caution coming out for a couple periods during this race. So it's all randomly generated.
Well, Bobby, first and foremost, thank you for offering us some insight and a peek behind the curtain. And man, what a time to dial up that algorithm is. It's really going to turn up the energy and the juice here at Circuit of the Americas. You guys are doing a hell of a job in there. I'm going to jump back up top and look forward to the end of this race. Always a pleasure to speak with Bobby Anderson, chief cook and bottle washer of this league. Does such a phenomenal job. As folks, strap yourself in. It's about to get rowdy here on the racetrack. And DJ, I know you didn't hear what was said moments ago. Did get a chance to speak with the head cook, chief, and bottle washer, Bobby Anderson, and the viewers were able to tune in as well. This is a new algorithm, a new tweak that they're making to the road course racing to give it a little spark, a little extra zest, if you will. And it just so happened that it decided to kick in and setting us up for this overtime finish. So from the sounds of it, these drivers were aware that this was possible. However, the timing from
The 8 missed his box. Oh no. Ralph Hutchinson missed his box. It may not cost him much, but the 97 beats the 63 off of pit road. So
I'm still trying to process this. What has happened here?
It was a debris caution.
No, this was planned. This is a tweak to the. I'm going to call it an algorithm. The of how they're just trying to basically, with stage normal racing out there in the oval track, right? NASCAR has made changes over the past years, in their opinion, to enhance the overall product level of competition out there on the racetrack. Basically, turn up the excitometer, up the fun factor. They're trying a similar thing here. Not necessarily how NASCAR does it, but there's
NASCAR just throws debris cautions.
Well, this was not a debris caution. This was new logic they're trying to incorporate here to up the ante on the road course racing. And it just so happened that all the stars aligned and that switch got flipped. And here we go. So
Matt, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You may want to go ahead and get you a sip of water because we're probably both about to be screaming because it looks like a bunch of cars stayed out.
Yeah, John Kelly, this is the first time he has tasted the lead all race long. Look who's back there in second. Nathaniel Pollard. There he
is. My
is.
scoring's right. We got more than 10 cars that stayed out.
Oh, we did. And this is going to, I said, take the script, crumple it up, throw it out the window for a reason. This is going to change everything.
I mean, who's our leader right now?
John Kelly.
John Kelly.
In the 04, then Nathaniel Pollard, Mr. Las Vegas, right there himself in second.
Of course, Pollard stays out. He did it once, and it pretty much worked.
It was a guaranteed, right? You knew that was coming. Tanner Marty in the 29 ride. He is now in this thing. Mark Paget up 9 positions. There's a whole new face. A whole new. Go ahead.
Just think about this. I mean, this is. A lot of these cars just drew a second wind. I mean, you got way older tires, but the 97 is the first car on tires, and look how far you have to go back. He is going to have a fit trying to get by some of these guys.
Well, he's going to have a fit getting by some of these guys as we get ready to go overtime racing here as those lights go out on that iRacing.com pace car. So you're going to have now 5 cars in front of the 97, who's going to restart here 6. Hicksonbaugh, the 63, who has been lethal on the same shoes as everyone else around him now, I might add.
So this is going to
Hunter Truex, go ahead.
The 63 and the 97 are your first 2 cars on tires. You have to go all the way back to 6th and 7th.
Correct.
For those 2. So, I mean, it may not sound like a tall task, but that's a tall task. I mean, this place is tight. It's very hard to pass, and I'm going to say the tires are going to take about a half a lap to heat up and get good.
Well, that's the other thing, too, and I'm sure these guys that stayed out know it. They're probably... Go ahead.
You're about to find out who's really got the car, because right now is when you're going to find out who's got the car that they can pull off power moves and just pass. You can have a fast car all day long in clean air, but it's about who can have that car that's still fast in all this traffic.
Well, this is a top fuel final getting ready to go down road course style.
Because, I mean, me and you, Matt, we've both had cars that were really fast out front, but you get mired back in that traffic and it's just junk. It's not good because of that dirty air, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it suddenly turns into a 1983 Ford Tempo. I know exactly what you mean. But, for some of these drivers like Pollard, Kelly, Tanner Marty, I mean, this is restored the life of a dormant, fire-breathing dragon, if you will, into some of these drivers here.
Before we go green and have all this drama, I'm going to throw it out here that it was just mentioned that iRacing cautions are still on, and iRacing will throw a caution if the wreck is big enough. It has happened before.
So
like
basically,
if the track is blocked, iRacing will throw a full course.
So basically, if we turn this racetrack into a hot dumpster fire, there's a good chance.
Into a parking lot.
which I doubt will be the case, but the possibility is there. I mean, I didn't think we were going to see a caution flag. I had to know. I had to basically kick their door down to find out what happened.
Now I remember. I think it might have been a race that I had you crew chiefing and spotting for me when the whole track was blocked. Was it Talladega maybe? And you were just yelling at me, "Just stop! Just stop!"
That was Talladega.
Because there was nowhere to go.
No, all the holes were plugged.
If you just stop, you won't tear nothing up.
Well, folks, Grandma's got her life alert in one hand, her kernel-free popcorn in the other. Side by side, 2 lanes of fast and furious action.
The O2 spun the tires.
Oh,
They just wadded up.
The O2
The
stepped on
04.
his lug nuts, spun the tires, and we are already stacking up as John Kelly surges ahead, and here comes...
What a run, the 16! What? The
Oh!
rail goes to 97, the 6 is in it!
Carnage unfolds.
The 8 is now your first car on tires. Ryan Hutchinson.
Is it just turned into a hot dumpster fire for
Oh, no.
Hotsama and others?
I entirely lied to you, the 63 car. He's the first car on tires now.
How did Hicksonbaugh...
I
What?
don't even know. Where did he come from?
He's like Kevin Harvick Road Course Edition. Exactly? How did he get there?
Oh, whoa, the wheel hop. Look at it. He was all over the place.
It was like a basketball right there. That car should have went every which way but straight, and somehow he made it do just that.
The 04
That was a
is
prayer
gonna
from
give
heaven
the-
answered.
The 04 is going to give the 63 a fit.
He's trying to be like you at Talladega right now, DJ. Block every lane, including the grass.
If he's perfect, it'll be really hard for the 63 to get around him.
Now,
Look at him open it up there.
look, this just goes to show you, like I was saying earlier, a lot of great talent in this field. Anyone with the right opportunity can win this race. And two, the other part of that is look how effective, look at the advantage you get from having the clean air. Look how...
And you know, Matt, we were just talking about sometimes a damaged car can handle way better. Look at the 04's left rear. It's pushed in. Is that helping him?
Well, he definitely had some rear-end reconstructive surgery gone wrong.
He's
That's
going
for...
defensive here in 1. He locks up. Here comes the 63. This is the last lap. All the chips are on the table.
2 laps to go officially is being indicated by
Oh!
timing and scoring as Hicksonbaugh is going to send it on the
63.
outside. Look at the move by
What a
Hicksonbaugh.
move.
Superman is back and hit back to the lead.
He didn't even give the 04 a chance.
He said, I'm sorry, buddy, not today. Like a scene out of the Fast and Furious. But he
The
said,
04 is trying everything he can do to get back to him, but it's just not going to be enough.
still, what a run out of the 04 of John Kelly. Digging deep here and putting together a heck of a performance going up against the elite here in this series on old shoes, much older ones. It was a 20-lap difference.
Are my overlays broke? Is this not the last lap?
It's showing, maybe my overlays broke. I'm showing 2 laps to go here on my end.
Did they change the rules on road courses for green, white, checkers?
There's so much going on right now, DJ. The sky could be falling outside. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know either.
This has gotten absolutely wild.
I'm not showing the white flag yet.
Either am I.
So I'm guessing this will be the last lap.
Should be. There it is. White flag in the air. One more time around the Circuit of the Americas to decide this thriller in prime time. Is Superman threaded the needle, shot the gap, blew the doors off of John Kelly, and is now reclaimed and recaptured this lead on the final lap of the race. DJ, he just needs to execute. He doesn't need to be perfect. He doesn't have to be lights out fast. He just has to put together one more lap
Yeah,
here.
I mean, he's got the tire advantage. He could just ride around at this point. Just ride around, get the car home. Don't tear it up. You'll win this race.
For another braking zone, up through the H pattern, back out of the binders. You see the flames of fury shooting out the exhaust pipe.
You want to be smooth. Make sure all your shifts are correct. Don't money shift it. Oh, you see the mistake there.
Sometimes going too slow can mess you up. We've seen that. However, he has almost 2 seconds of real estate between himself and the 4 of Kelly.
3 more corners to navigate here.
3 of the longest corners here for Bryson Hicksonbaugh's life. There's another one successfully completed and off the board.
As the 63, he started off hot. He set the hot lap. He started on the pole, led all of stage 1. He won stage 1, but then had a little mistake on pit road. He got mired back with bad track position, got a little damage, but he's back, and he's going to set the world on fire. The 63 of Hicksonbaugh is going to win at COTA.
Bryson Hicksonbaugh sets the circuit of the America on fire and wins a thriller. It's never over until it's over, until the checkered flag flies. Grandma's over here having a full-blown heart attack. She can't get over
Pollard?
it.
Pollard came home 3rd.
Incredible.
Sorry
This
to
is
throw you
nuts.
off there, but
It's
that's
okay.
incredible.
You're throwing me. You didn't throw me off. That caution flag threw me off. That's what did it.
And what a run from John Kelly, man.
John Kelly.
I mean, he made a little mistake, but tires that old and that wore out, you can only ask so much out of them.
I can promise you, John Kelly did not have this on his bingo card coming home in the second in P2. There's no way. Nathaniel Pollard. I mean, if you're these guys, you probably feel like you went out there and won this race. Kurt Mills comes home 4th, and how about Tanner Marty getting that top 5? Ryan Struck is going to come away with a solid 7th place position, up 16 spots from where he started. Mark Paget in the O2 is going to come home 7th. Matthew Wheeler. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, the 97 got spun out on that restart.
And I was just
come on 14th.
And here is the biggest wig splitter of this race. Lucas Hotsema is going to come home with a sub-top 10 performance. How in the world is that? As Hicksonbaugh gets ready to go Inferno, he's your winner here from Circuit of the Americas.
That baby down. You deserve it. Come on. Blow it up.
This is why you stick around. You never shut the TV off.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, that is made.
Incredible. Not only does he have all that talent getting around this
savage
man,
burnout.
He can do a burnout.
Oh,
Look,
this is
he's
good.
Go all the way down the front stretch.
This is going on my highlight reel, my personal one right here.
Oh, yeah. Is he going to go all the way down the front
He's
stretch?
trying to pull a SVG, a Shane Van Gisbergen, perhaps.
That's right. Was it Shane that went around the whole
Yes.
track almost?
Yes. No, he just looped it right there.
Oh, man. That was still awesome.
That was a power burnout. Big things popping, little things stopping the 63 this evening.
I think he blew it up.
He may have. Hey,
Smoke coming
I
out
did
from
say he was
under the
about to go supernova, didn't I?
Hey, you won the daggone race. So, I mean, you can go buy a brand new motor, right? If you can win a race.
If you can drive like that, I assume you can get anything you want at that point. As we now officially try to gather up what exactly has unfolded here.
As he's going to go call Roush Yates and say, I won the race, give me a new motor, right?
Dude, this guy's going to be electric. Is this one officially in the books, folks? We're going to have to... oh, my God. We still have interviews to do and everything else. I got to get a grip on myself on what has happened here, the closing laps of this race. As we now transition to post-race coverage here on Redline Racing Network. We're going to step aside for 30 minutes. Or 30 seconds, change up the scenery.
30 minutes.
I'm telling you, this finish jacked me up what happened here at the end of this thing. I've never seen anything like it in my life. As I get myself gathered back up, we got to reset the graphics. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. And you, sir, are muted. That finish got me jacked up. I don't.
Group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Redline Racing Network. As it's like something out of a movie here to the final closing moments here from Circuit of the Americas. A late race full course caution decides to show its face and completely change and alter the outcome of this race on a new algorithm. They're tweaking on the admin side of things to up the ante. The competition, the fun factor, if you will, strikes at the best time for the broadcast, but at the possible worst time for some of these drivers who were out there in competition. And Bryson Hixenbaugh able to dig deep, get a new set of shoes, and go Superman, and just unhuman characteristics displayed out there on the racetrack, power by on the outside, and able to get around John Kelly. He is your winner in an overtime thriller. And DJ, I'm not even sure what's happening right now. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know either, man. My brain cells are gone.
I am mind blown by what has just happened over the past 10 or 15 minutes or so. But I do know that Bryson Hixenbaugh has won this race. John Kelly, I mean, what a story here for this guy. I mean, had good pace. He just didn't have an opportunity. He didn't have a chance to finish in the podium. I didn't think it was possible for Nathaniel Pollard either. We saw some great strategy play from him earlier, but yet here we are. Kelly's going to come home second, and Nathaniel Pollard in third. You're about to hear from them in a few moments right here as we transition now to post-race coverage. Drivers speaking with their teams, family and friends for just a moment. They will join us up here in the broadcast booth momentarily. And DJ, just let me get your final thoughts here on the closing stages of this race as it sunk in what we just witnessed.
The 63 never quit, and that is what won him this race. He never gave up on himself.
It's never over until it's over. No matter how many times you've seen it play out, no matter what you think.
That finish was incredible.
I'll always remember the ending of this race. That is for certain.
Trying to get a good screenshot for Hixenbaugh, and the 16 of Pollard just photobombed it.
We're going to have some fun with this after the race is over with some of the highlight videos and some other things. We have to document this. It has to be done.
If you look in the screenshot that I posted in the Discord, the 16's just chilling in the background. He totally photobombed it.
Hixenbaugh already in the infield care center that we're going to look for. Again, John Kelly and Nathaniel Pollard to join him there for race interviews, final thoughts, and reflection on this wild barn burner from COTA. Well, DJ, let's go ahead and do this thing as we do have our race winner, Bryson Hixenbaugh, standing by. Let's bring him up here. And joining us now in the Tony Trapassa Memorial broadcast booth, the man that went Superman and supernova status at the end of this race, Bryson Hixenbaugh, standing by with DJ. He is all yours, sir. Dial him up here one more time. Bryson, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
DJ, he is standing by. He is all yours, my friend.
What's happening, man? That was incredible to watch. How did you feel before that late caution?
Well, I thought I had really screwed it up there. That that stage two restart, I wasn't aggressive enough, and I ended up getting shuffled back and really lost track position. And I fought to get back up to the front, had to flip the stage and get back to the lead with old tires, and just couldn't hold on. And then I had the speed still. I once Lucas got in front of me, he didn't really pull away. I held him there and I started closing back in, but it just wasn't going to be enough. And I started making mistakes. I was uh, really wheel hopping into some of those corners, heating up the rears, and I wasn't going to get him. And then the caution came out, and that's what the cautions were for, is to have a little bit of strategy. It came out really late in this one, so it only set up a green white checkered, but it gave me the opportunity, and I ended up taking advantage of it around the outside of turn one.
You did everything you had to do, and we watched you make a couple of passes around the outside that just made me and Matt get up out of our seats. I mean, how do you get a car that good? Because I mean, we all know that that's extremely hard to do.
Yeah, it was just really the confidence on braking was great in this, as well as throwing it into the S's. This Team Conti sim performance setup was amazing all race long. Had great short run pace, had great long run pace, and luckily we got the dub here.
Yeah, and one more thing, and I'll hand you over to Matt. How do you just not give up on yourself? I mean, you set the hot lap, you set the pole. I mean, you lead all of stage one, you win the stage, you get beat off a pit road, and you kind of get behind the eight ball, and you just stayed in the fight the whole time, and obviously it paid off. So, I mean, how do you do that, man? That's incredible.
Yeah, I just had to really refocus here. I knew that I had the speed, and I knew that I could take that strategy to get back up to the lead at the end of stage two, beginning of stage three. And it was just about really staying committed to being consistent on my braking points, being consistent on my lines, and really getting the most out of the car. And I was able to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, and congratulations, and he's all yours, Matt.
DJ, thank you for that. And Bryson, if you've been on iRacing for any amount of time, you're going to know your name and who you are and what you represent. And you're a hell of a talent out there on the racetrack and a fierce competitor. However, in this league, there is a lot of great competition, some of the best that I have seen throughout my time up top in the broadcast booth. How did you come to that decision to put yourself in a scenario where you're going to go out and challenge, the front runners in this race on an older set of tires? Not only older set of tires, but you were also the fastest car on the racetrack when you didn't have the same shoes that your competition. I mean, I'm still mind blown by this. How are you able to go out there and be that competitive at a racetrack where tires are more important here than I think what a lot of people give them?
Yeah, I just did a lot of practice laps with Nick Ottinger last Sunday night, and really put in a lot of time on learning the way that he drove the track and really figuring out how he was getting the speed out of it. I didn't quite get to his level, but I found a lot of speed there, and luckily was able to be ahead of the pack for most of this race at the beginning, and then really just carve through the field, and then holding on with those old tires. I was really surprised it held on that well. I thought it was going to be really blocking to save my life, but it held on after the first couple laps and equalized. And I think it was just the tires heat up a lot, and that's where you lose the time here. So because everybody else that stayed out on that green white checker, they kept a lot more pace than I expected as well, and as well as everybody else that pit. We all thought we were going to blow by them by the S's, but it took us a while.
Well, that's what DJ and I thought as well, and we both learned quick, fast, and in a hurry that you guys had a different script in store tonight. And my final question, getting into the later stages of this race, did you have any idea that we were going to see a full course yellow, or did that just shock you as much as it did us and everyone watching this thing?
I mean, I knew it was a chance. It kept getting later and later. I'm like, okay, time's probably passed. If it was going to come out, it would have come out by now. But it happened with like 3 or 4 to go, and really gave me that new opportunity on the restart to make the most of it.
I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to render me speechless. And when I saw what happened, I could not process it. I was mind blown. I had to jump down into race control, talk to Bobby for a minute, and it set the stage for, I think, one of the greatest overtime thrillers a lot of us have had the opportunity to watch live here on the YouTube side of things, and that was so much fun to watch. And again, what a great drive by yourself, and what a performance. Before I cut you loose, Bryson, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on the 63? The floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to Team Conti Sim Performance, teammates over there at Team Conti. That I don't think any of them came to this race, but I know Cup side, they do a lot of great work as well on Saturday nights. Also, shout out to my teammates at Ace Moneymaker Racing, Cody Bird and Mason Lowry. Cody had some mechanical issues here and couldn't finish, but I think we put on a show. We put on some good speed here at Ace Moneymaker Racing, and we'll be on to the next one.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Bryson Hicksabah puts on a road course thriller, going above and beyond in prime time, going deep. Superman looked like he had 1,000 horsepower and all-wheel drive in that Mustang to win in overtime. Does a spectacular burnout as well. Bryson, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. Congratulations on a big-time win and an even better drive behind the wheel. I hope we speak with you again really soon.
Yep. Congrats,
I hope
Bryson.
so as well.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, guys. See you at the next one.
DJ, always a privilege, when you get some of the iRacing elites to be out there in competition. But anytime you get to speak with Bryson, always such a great opportunity. And, man, he gave us one heck of an interview, and I really appreciate his just raw emotion and the honesty. I mean, that was not sugar-coated at all. I mean, you could tell that was genuine, and man, I really appreciate it when they're just that genuine and they come up here and just, are just that candid. That was a heck of an interview from Bryson.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He did an awesome job.
Well, that's 1 down, 2 to go. As we check back into the infield care center.
How about we grab old Nate Pollard?
Let's dial him up.
I'm happy to hear what he's got to say.
Joining us now in the Tony Trapassa Memorial broadcast booth, Nate Pollard. Welcome, DJ. He is standing by with you.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Man, how did you pull that off?
I'm not really sure. I all I knew was I was doing the exact opposite of what the leaders were gonna do. So if they were gonna stay out, I was gonna go get 2 tires because I felt I was burning lefts instead of rights. But if they all pitted, I was gonna stay out.
Yeah, I mean, we seen you try to pull that. Was it at the end of stage 2? You tried that strategy?
No,
Or,
that was Bryson. I was at the end of stage 1, and
Oh, okay. My bad.
I just figured that I wasn't getting stage points, so I figured I might as well try it.
Well, how did that car feel on that heat cycle?
It didn't feel too bad. I wish it kind of wish I would have been able to because I was trying to catch the field. I felt like I burnt tires during caution as much as I did under green flag. So I didn't feel like I had as fresh of tires as I probably could have.
Well, man, I gotta say, on that late race restart, you did an awesome job just doing what you had to do, and man, you came home with top 3. Before I hand you to Matt, I got a bone to pick with you. I was taking a screenshot of the 63, and half of your car is photobomb in the background.
Sorry, I figured you wanted me to stay on the track.
No, you're all good, man. I wasn't even paying attention, but I thought it was funny. But all right, Matt, it's all yours.
Nate, I mean, your emotion right now is echoing my thoughts 100%. I did not think with 4 laps to go in this race that we were going to see a complete rearrangement of this field and just a spectacle of what happened with that late race caution. Us not knowing why that caution flag was out, we had no idea. I was rendered speechless. I had to go into race control and talk to Bobby to figure this out. And yet, somehow, you pull off a huge upset in a sense, come home with the third place finish, and taking a play. I think you kind of set the script in motion. If you dial the race back, you were the first one to say, hey, you know what? I may not be able to beat them in pure speed, but I'm not afraid to go full-blown high stakes smoke. I'll take a risk here, and I'm confident in my decision, and it worked for you then.
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to, just do something different. Sometimes when you're just not as fast, like these guys are a lot faster than I am, and when you're not as fast, you have to kind of change up what you're doing the opposite of them.
Let me tell you something. If I was out there on the racetrack with you guys, let me say, you guys are all fast, but I understand what you're saying. I wish I was a quarter as good as you out there on this racetrack. You put a heck of a job out there tonight. But, I mean, when you see that caution come out, did that instantly just boost the morale and just kind of rekindle the fire inside the cockpit of that race car, knowing that, hey, look, this field is getting restacked, reset, it's going to overtime, and anything is possible. And it really seemed like it gave you a fresh breath out there on the racetrack.
I mean, I was more kind of disappointed because I really wanted to go green because
Okay.
I was hoping for a top 10, but the caution, it kind of just worked out in that way. But it did give me a chance to kind of settle down and work on it. And I was really, through that last lap and a half, all I was worried about is I was on 20 incidents. I was worried about not getting the last off track.
Oh, no. That's the worst feeling, isn't it? I mean, knowing you're one away, there's nothing you can do to dispute it. I mean, once you get the Dairy Queen award, you're gone. But not the case, and you're able to break through and come home with a solid third place finish. Absolutely thrilling to watch you out there, and I love the strategy call in the early going. And, I'll be the first one to admit I don't always have the raw speed to contend with some of these elites, if you will, out there on the racetrack. But I'll be the first one to throw some strategy at it. And you know what? When it pays off, it feels even better. And I couldn't be happier for you. Before I cut you loose, the floor is yours. Who would you like to thank who helps you get it done on that 16 machine?
I just like to thank my two personal sponsors, my personal team, Yellow Flag Motorsports, and then my favorite Discord community, which I started when I got a PC, which is Kinetic Esports Gaming Community group. Good group guys over there, and good. I'm happy I started this team with my friends. So, thank you guys.
Congrats, Nate. You did an awesome job tonight, buddy.
Never say never, never say die, no quit, and he let it rip when it mattered. Nathaniel Pollard comes home with a phenomenal third place finish. He's going to take that and the momentum, roll it into next week. Thanks for joining us up here in the booth, and I hope we speak with you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Appreciate your time. And DJ, you can hear the excitement in his voice and echoing our thoughts as well. And I couldn't be happier for Nate. What a drive, what a performance from him this evening.
I love that, man. These guys put so much heart and soul into this, and people don't see that, man. But it's awesome. When it all pays off, it's an amazing feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like a lot of the drivers have now joined the post race for, from the driver's side of his perspective. They're in the motor coach lot in the hauler getting debriefed. I don't think the conversation is going to be too ugly in there, as they kept it for the most part really clean and respectful out there on the racetrack. Still looking for John Kelly, and I know he's
infield care.
You go ahead and refresh. There he is, DJ. Thank you. Joining us now up in the Tony Trapassa Memorial broadcast booth, standing by with DJ Daniel, John Kelly.
You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Man, how in the world did you pull that off?
Incredible.
I have no idea. I have no clue. It was fun.
It's like my old man always told me, when it comes to any kind of form of racing, you play chess, not checkers. And boy, did you play chess right. I mean,
yes, sir.
How did you feel on that last caution, what made you want to stay out?
To be honest, I knew that some guys behind me were gonna stay out, and I was running P7 at the time, and I was either gonna pit with the leaders and try to make it up through the cars that stayed out, or I was gonna be the first car to stay out and be able to lead the field to green and stay out of trouble. So that's kind of how I made my decision there.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, you had me out of my seat because I thought you were gonna pull it off, and unfortunately, the 63 just had tires and was a little bit faster, but you made it exciting, I will say.
Oh yeah, yep. Bryson was fast all night. I didn't want to fight him for it. He definitely deserved the win there. Feel bad for Lucas and them running up front. Just unfortunate that happened to him.
Yeah, that late race caution just reset everything. How did you feel when that caution came out?
Man, this is my first race in the league, and I was so content running in the top 10. I just wanted a top 10 finish, and when the caution came out, I was pretty disappointed, to be honest. I was I was content with the top 10.
Sometimes those cards just fall in your favor, man. I've been there and done that many times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just awesome. Way to never give up there, and heck yeah. Here you go, Matt.
DJ, thank you so much for that interview.
Please, Matt.
No, I'm right here, brother. Can you guys not hear me?
Just a second.
Had
There
to
he is.
reload the audio. You should hear me now, guys.
Oh no.
Yep, gotcha.
I'm gonna hand them over to you, Matt.
I had a
Sorry.
packet drop like out of a heavy bomb coming out of a B-52, so I just had to recycle it. I'll tell you what, John. First of all, when that caution flag came out, DJ and I had no idea what had just happened. I thought maybe someone fell asleep in the control room and threw the caution. I mean, I was losing my mind. Anyways, I heard what you said. You know, you were upset. But did you think that this was going to be the outcome 5 laps before that happened? I mean, what was your thought process coming across the start-finish line when you realized I just came home second P2?
I mean, it was a great feeling. I was talking to some of the guys in the Discord, and I was shocked that it happened. At the restart there, I tried to get a good jump just because I knew that there was going to be chaos coming into turn 1. So I got a jump, got away, and then I saw Bryson coming, and I said, "Oh, just let him have it. He deserves it. He was way quicker than I was all night."
I'll tell you what, you were like the Wile E. Coyote on the trigger there on that restart. I mean, you had old tires, no problem. You caught those guys on the snooze button. I mean, you shot out. I was like, what? I mean, I did not expect that. I mean, you gave these guys the fight of the century. I mean, it was... Dude, I love the way you attacked that overtime restart. You know, when everything was against you, you found a way to be clutch in that moment, and you held off the charge from some fast and furious drivers. I'm so happy for you, man. Before I cut you loose, man, I want to ask you, the floor is yours. Who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on the 04?
Yeah, so I got a few people. I got my friends and family watching the stream currently, so I want to say hi to all of them. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank Nick Ottinger at Team Conti Sim Performance. He really helped me a lot this Sunday in the test session. He's got a fast car. Obviously, Bryson stole the show with them. I want to thank Dustin Hall for referring me to this league. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be in here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I want to thank Turn 4 Sim Performance and Zero X Media and Design.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. John Kelly went full-blown John Bon Jovi, living on a prayer mode. He took it, the opportunity, and he said it. Comes home with a solid second-place finish. Appreciate you joining me up here in the broadcast booth. Look forward to watching you next week and carrying that momentum as well, I might add, my friend.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for putting this on.
Hey, we appreciate being up here in the broadcast booth. It's an honor to watch you guys go out there on the racetrack and do what you do.
Yeah, you guys keep us out of our seats.
Thank you very much.
Awesome run. Congratulations.
Again, that is the one and only John Kelly out of Lake George, New York, joining us up here in the broadcast booth. Going to put him back down here. Actually, let's go ahead and I think he was heading over to the motor coach lot, so I'm going to go ahead and shove him in there. Hopefully, I stuck him in the right place. But DJ, that's going to wrap up post-race interviews, have you ever, I'm still lost for words here. I mean, typically that does not happen on road courses, yet here we are.
Man, I'm not even a road course guy, and it says a lot because I'm sitting here out of my seat pretty much the whole time.
And I mean what I said earlier. I will always remember this race. And what a way to throw in some new strategy to kind of, not that I think these guys always put on a great show, but for some viewers that may say, hey, it's road course racing, it gets boring, it gets strung out. What a way to throw a twist in the rules, to find a spark, if you will, to peak up the intensity. And man, that Cron hit at the right time, and it produced a thriller. It'd be two drivers here that, just ecstatic with the outcome of this race. John Kelly, Nathaniel Pollard, in their story, how they got there is incredible. But Bryson Hixenbaugh here, really, the guy that went Superman. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Some of those moves that he made on those final laps of the race, incredible. What he was able to do on those old tires, on those old Dr. Feelgoods, and still be the fastest car out there on the racetrack, going up against fierce competition. Absolutely incredible. Next level. Only one thing left to do here tonight, and that is go through the final results. You've already heard from Hixenbaugh, John Kelly, Nathaniel Pollard, your podium finishers here from Circuit of the Americas. Just missing the podium, Kirk Mill's going to come home in fourth in the 69 ride, while SNN's own Tanner J. Marty going to come home running out the top five. Biggest mover of the race, the 77 machine of Ryan Struck up 16 positions, going to come home sixth, while Mark Paget, Matthew Wheeler, Eric Weiland, and up 2 spots, Jim Schofield, going to round out your top 10. Damian McHorder, Ralph Hutchinson, Mason Lowry, another driver that started deep in the woods, going to gain 9 spots on that scoring pylon and squeak in just inside the top 15 out of Holt, Florida, my home state. And Lucas Hoetzema, the driver really that feels like they were treated like a redheaded stepchild, point blank in broad daylight, is going to come home 15th if you could swallow that one. Hunter Trull, 16th. Carlos Jonathan Delaney. Mike, I may screw this up, and I do apologize. Pachik, I think, comes home 19th, while Roy Collins rounds out your top 20. Tim Phillips, Daniel Llewellyn, Steve Benjamin, and Charles Eaton is your top 24. Corey Deal, out of Morgan, North Carolina, comes home 25th. Cody Bird, Dave Hoetzema, and Jason Hale round out your 28 drivers who all took the initial green flag here from the Circuit of the Americas. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for welcoming us into your homes, onto your phones, however you get this esports broadcasting content. Got to thank Bobby Anderson, his admin staff, and all the drivers who came out here and put on a heck of a show this evening. Got to thank Team Watson Racing Setups and Black Magic, the official speed shop and design partner on the channel. We appreciate everything they do for us. And as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor, don't play in traffic, and we'll see you next time right here in prime time on Redline Racing Network. Good night, everybody.